Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hot on the heels of the last recording, we are back in Final Fantasy XIV for some more questing. We've finished the main bulk of Stormblood, and now it looks like we're just going to do some mopping up before we move on to the next set of expansion missions. So let's talk to Lise. Ooh, we get a new emote. How lovely.
様子を見に来てくれたの?
Correct.
アラミゴでの決戦が終わってから少しずつだけど新しい国づくりが始まっているんだ。ヒエンっていう主君がいるドマとは違ってアラミゴには絶対的な指導者がいないからね。
Oh, I disagree. I think we've got somebody perfectly suitable for
帝国侵
leadership.
攻以前はアラミゴにも王様がいたんだけど最後の王テオドリックがとんでもない暴君でさ。
だからアラミゴでは王政復古を求める人は少ないんです。じゃあ新しい国の形はっていうと、
当然のことだけどいろんな意見があるってわけ。しばらくはラウバーンたち同盟軍の力を借りながら話し合いを重ねて新体制の方向性を決めていく感じだね。その関係で今日もこれから市街地の方で会合なんだ。
And that can only be a good thing.
まあ大変だけどアラミゴの未来を決める大切なことだから頑張らないとね。
Good to hear.
それじゃあナーゴ、警備の方は任せたからよろしく。
了解です。
Hello.
お、いいところにちょうど探していたんだ。そう身構えないでくれよ。何、悪い話じゃないって。ただちょっと場所を変えたい。少し付き合ってくれないか。
Okay. Have I found another potential sparring partner?
話ってのは新しい冒険のことさ。
I am an adventurer, so the chances of the answer to that question being yes
俺たち
are
は
very
暁の
high.
一員ではあるけれど、その前に一人の冒険者だろ。
Yes, exactly my thoughts.
悲願だったアラミゴの奪還にも成功し、帝国との戦いにも一つの区切りがついたんだ。そろそろ冒険に勤しむのも悪くないと思わないかい？
Oh?
そこでとっておきの情報を仕入れてきたんだ。アルフィノを交えて3人で挑戦してみようぜ。
Twist my arm, why don't you? I'm up for a spot of adventuring. I think I'm quite ready for another adventure. Right, what are we doing? Right then, let's go and find Master Levelier. Actually, leave that to me. I want you fresh for our little adventure. Wait for us by the Aetheryte and we'll be along shortly. See you there. Alright, Arenvald, you nutter. I wonder where we're going. I do have work in a couple, well actually, in 1 hour and 50, well, 1 hour and 56 minutes give or take. Oh, no, not you. I will need to be heading out the door to go to work. So I was in two minds as to whether or not to do a recording, but honestly, you get phases where you sort of like can't stay away from the game. This is definitely one of them for me. Well, at least I get phases like that. Don't know if... Can't speak for anyone else. Can only speak for myself. Greetings, Geico. It would seem we are to accompany Arenvald on some manner of escapade. Have you any idea what you've gotten ourselves into? What we've gotten ourselves into? Allow me to explain. It'll be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No snoring, if you please. Now, the events I would speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Ala Mhigo was still a monarchy and Theodoric sat on the throne. A uniquely brutal despot by all accounts. That he was. The King of Ruin suffered no rivals, real or imagined, and his dispute with the monks of the Fist ended with Ralga's Reach being burned to the ground. In the latter years of his rule, he was seized by the unshakable belief that unseen forces were conspiring to steal his crown, so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne be executed, including his own family. The wealth of the poor sods he put to death became the property of the king, and it's said that these royal treasures were hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus was born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. Ah, I believe I see the direction our adventure is to take. I assume you have a mind to unearth this hidden bounty. You assume correctly. And would I also be correct in assuming that this legend is widely known? Others must surely have gone in search of your prize, tempting as it seems. Well, of course, we won't be able to make the first attempt. Sorry, we won't be the first to make the attempt. Following Ala Mhigo's liberation, more than a few eager soldiers turned the palace upside down in hopes of claiming an easy fortune. Even after scouring every room from dawn till dusk, they uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as it had come, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remains simply that, a legend. But I see you have no intention of letting the story end there. What self-respecting adventurer would? Imagine, the three of us delving into a decades-old mystery. Tell me the thought doesn't set your heart to racing. I'm having palpitations. Okay. So we have the box emote. Lovely. Let's give it a whirl. Wrong one. Social. Emotes. Special box. Boom, boom, boom. Wow. Okay. Oh! Nice. I mean, none of those work for me, but nice. News of Doma and Ala Mhigo's liberation has kindled the flames of revolution in every corner of the Empire. Now here the imperial province of Dalmasca has already risen up in rebellion. Which means the Gallians must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in such a diversion? Tell us, Arenvald, have we any clues as to where we might begin our search? Well, judging by how the other treasure hunters fared, nosing about the palace isn't like to get us anywhere, so we'll probably need to ask around. Would that be another way of saying no? Well, yes. I see. In that case, I shall pay a visit to the Allied archivists and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. Gallians are meticulous about such things. If they uncovered the trove during the occupation, the event is certain to have been recorded. In the meantime, the two of you can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in Theodoric's day. Given that they would have been at least 20 at the time, you will be looking for people who have seen 40 summers or more. Anything they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, so be sure to listen well. Arenvald, pray try your luck in the fringes and the peaks whilst Geico makes the rounds in the Ala Mhigo quarter. And there I was thinking I was the party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Let's be about it, eh? We can meet afterwards at Gilbard's Gate. Alrighty then. I'm back off to Ala Mhigo. How do we get out of here? That way. So yeah, usually between expansions there's a few sort of little missions to do. Meantime missions. Which is fine. It gives us a little bit of a chance to digest what's happened in the story and take a bit of a breather with some interlude missions. Ooh. Keep forgetting about that. The ziggurat. There's plenty of secondary quests for whatever job class I decide to level after this. I was speaking to somebody yesterday about this is just basically saying I hope I can get this up and get up to Endwalker before the next expansion comes out in 2023, whenever it'll be. And they said, yeah, you should be fine. You seem to be getting through it at a good pace. I'm like, it's been 6 months. Like, over 6 months now. And they'd mentioned, like, have you considered doing anything sort of like smaller content, like more short form content? And honestly, I have considered it, like for this game, I mean, like short content for Final Fantasy XIV. I'd considered it, but honestly, because I'm like 70 odd episodes, nearly 80 episodes in fact this will be the 80th episode, it seems like the best thing I can do now is just stick to my guns. Really just sort of finish what I've started. And then maybe afterwards I can look at sort of focusing on other aspects of the game that don't require me to do such sort of long form recordings. I mean, honestly, like, I could edit these videos a lot more and cut them down to sort of half-hour segments. But the whole idea was to get the full experience, so that's what I shall do. Oh yeah, I forgot I haven't explored all of the area. So let's head north, and we'll do that. And then we'll go down here. Oh, there's a triple triad match as well. How lovely. So, yeah. It is basically a case of the mission to do the main story quest is locked in. Don't really have any desire to change that at this point. Seems a bit too late in the game for that. Can I fly over this to discover that? Because I went through all these catacombs here. It doesn't seem like there's a way to get through to that bit, unless I'm being particularly dense. So I'm hoping I can fly around this mountain. There we go. Yep, the way in is through here. So where does this go? Oh, okay, so this just goes into... Right, got you. Got ya. I should have switched to my botanist to do that exploration. Never mind. I am still leveling my botanist up as well. I've just finished slapping a load of materia back on the gear. All the gatherer's guerdon, however you pronounce that word. And a bit of gatherer's guile. So that'll be the next class to be leveled up to 90, I imagine. So it is Friday today. I am extraordinarily happy about that fact. Excuse me. This week's not been a particularly good week in terms of my state of mind. I felt a bit belligerent at work and just generally resentful. I'm not going to sugarcoat that fact. I've not been in the best of moods, and I'm hoping I can channel that into something a bit more positive. What are you hiding? Oh, you're a deserter. Right, I won't do that yet. Yeah, I'm really hoping I can sort of turn it around into something more positive, even if that does come in the form of, you know, looking for another job or trying to find a direction to go in that's not making me feel as sort of weary of what I'm doing at the moment. And I think it's key for me, because as soon as I start doing that, I have a habit to sort of not really change anything, but just to kind of stay in that mentality. It's very indulgent and a bit stupid, so I need to have a think about what I need to do and just do it rather than indulging in these shit feelings. You want to hear an old maid's stories, do you? Aye, well, most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. We'd only see his royal majesty when he deigned to attend the executions he'd ordered, and after a while, even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow, and wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. Yeah, you could be the next one on the chopping block. Every now and again I wonder what that noise is, and it's Mud Pie following me. Have we attuned to this aetheryte? I don't believe we have. Oh no, we have. Middle-aged Highlander. There can be only one. In the palace? No, not me, lad. Surely you've heard stories of the Mad King. He used to hold public executions up on the divine audience. Anyone, and I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crown was flung from the top of those steps. Suffice it to say that I stayed as far away from the palace as possible. Okay, so he didn't cut people's heads off, he just chucked them down the stairs. Not the way I would want to die, if I had the choice. So do we have vendors and things in this city? It looks as though we've got a repair person down there. A merchant. Where are we going? Up here. Gallet. Is it possible for me to get round here? Ah, I can go through this back alley. Good stuff. And here is what looks like a marketplace. Look at all these people sat chilling out after the glorious vindication. Vindication? Liberation. I served at the pleasure of King Theodoric, and lived to tell the tale. One of the palace guards I was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter in my life, one I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which of course we were under orders to ignore. So we'd stand still as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors were unfolding within. If you're hell's bent on finding out what happened in the palace, head down the street here and ask old Arenvald. He was the king's head scribe. That's good to hear. Let's find out what old Arenvald knows. Now spends his days hanging out near boxes. Yes, I'm Arenvald. What do you want with me? I hear you were the king's scribe. You would have me dredge up some decidedly unsavoury memories. Yet, if Ala Mhigo is to move forward, we must needs acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well. I shall tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodoric's paranoia and the public executions of his kinsmen. Those were terrible enough, but in his last days the king's fevered mind settled upon an even grislier method of disposal, which only a chosen few were unfortunate enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. Even now my sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodoric's blood were prone to share his madness, then mayhap it is a kindness that the monarchy ended with him. Okay. So it looks like this quest is going to take us under the palace. I wonder if this is going to be a raid. I don't know if we've done... Have there been any raids so far in this? No, I haven't done a single raid. In Stormblood, that's interesting. Well, not that it says on there, not that I can remember doing, so I guess we've not. What news? Since we're all here, why don't we share what we've learned? Allow me to begin then. As promised, I scoured the Imperial records for any mention of fantastic treasures, and found precisely none. It is just possible, I suppose, that a corrupt official deliberately hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself, but I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find would stay secret for long. I conclude that our prize either does not exist, or that the Imperials somehow overlooked it. But what of you, Geico? Were your investigations any more fruitful? I learned about a dark secret beneath the palace. Turned into monsters. And what would he mean? What could he mean by this darkness beneath the palace, I wonder? I met an old man in Alagiri who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison, but he said naught of cursed abominations. The Imperial archives were also silent on the subject of fiends inside the palace grounds. Could the scribe fellow have been spinning him a yarn, do you think? Did you believe him, Geico? His fear seemed genuine. If he was afraid, that does lend credence to the tale, though I'm not sure how that helps us in our search. Do not be so hasty. Arenvald's anecdote may very well have told us where the trove is hidden, but ere I share my theory, there is a matter I would clarify. Arenvald, you spoke of light-hearted adventure, but I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding this treasure? Are you related to the royal family? It wasn't all pretense, I swear, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garlean blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say that my Ala Mhigo mother did not welcome my arrival. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced that a spot on my skin was an emerging third eye, like the kind you see in pureblood Garleans. My mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage, and took up a knife. War paint serves to cover the scar. Oh mate, sorry to hear about that. In the end, she turned me out into the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways of Ala Mhigo, a feral child who got what he needed through begging, cunning, or worse. The best I can say about the years that followed is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees bound for the other side of the wall. It was then that I turned to adventuring, and that road led me into the company of the Scions. I tell you this so that you understand. I know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I drew steel on ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With Theodoric's gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. Thank you, Arenvald, and I apologise. That cannot have been pleasant to recall. but I felt it best to be clear in our intentions. Well, Geico, are you content to surrender the treasure to Arenvald's noble cause and claim the thrill of adventure as your reward? No, I want some of the bloody gold as well. And I should be glad to tell you my theory on the resting place of the Mad King's trove, if you are minded to hear it. I am. Right, what do we want out of this? Oh, yes, we can have that. Dai Ryu Miyaku accessories of casting. Right, before we carry on with that, let's see what's in that chest. Oh, we got a Shinryu card as well. A ring, bracelet, necklace and earrings. We've got a Xenos card as well. Nice. Right, so what are these accessories? Ooh, better than what we have. Better than what we have. Retrieve materia from that. Whip. Oh yeah, I've glamoured all that stuff, didn't I? Okay. That's better than that. Lovely. Just take the material out of that, thank you very much. Got a bracelet. Tree. We only got one ring, didn't we? So, which do we get rid of? Doesn't matter because they're both the same. Retrieve. Yep. Right, we'll need to go and visit a materia melder in a bit. But for now, I think we'll be okay. Alphanord seems eager to share his theory. Actually, mayhap it would be better if we first adjourned to a more suitable location. In case a rival treasure hunter overhears our plans, you mean? Good thinking. That was not exactly the reason, but 'tis certainly a valid concern. Let us reconvene on the southern edge of Loch Seld. Oh, why do we have to go out of the city? Fine. Yep. Okay. I think I might have to buy a new computer chair. This one is starting to lean backwards a bit more than it actually should. I may have broken it with my terrible posture. Oops. Forgive me, 'twas not my intention to draw out proceedings. I simply wished to have the lock in sight while I explain things. Okay. Prior to the great flood of the 6th Umbral Calamity, the salt lakes you see before you were yet dry ravines, and this, believe it or not, was the site of the ancient city of Skalla, which rose and fell during the 5th Astral Era. From what we know of this period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by war. Yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of Loch Seld. I've actually been down there as part of one of the Aether Current quests, and there is a city down there, or the remains of one anyway. It's my belief that the darkness beneath the palace mentioned by Theodoric's former scribe was not a reference to the prison, but to a place still further below, the ruins of Skalla. I further surmise that the Mad King's unfortunate kinsmen were cast down there not simply out of a desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodoric wanted to keep the ruins secure. Wait, you're saying they were meant to guard the Mad King's trove? Precisely. And since we know the court thaumaturge was involved, we can safely assume that any entrance into the old city will have been magically concealed. Which would explain how a legion of Imperial soldiers and the gods know how many Ala Mhigans never found a trace of the trove. We, however, have certain advantages which they did not enjoy. Geico, would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the loch and search for an underwater route into the ruins? While you do that, Arenvald and I will seek out an ensconceled portal within the palace. Yep, I'll go for a swim. Don't you worry. I just need to quickly adjust my microphone as well. There we go. That's better. Right. Swimming time, old chum. Let's jump on a mount to make this a bit quicker. So yeah, here's the ruins. We briefly sort of passed over the top of them doing one of the other quests, but there is much more to them down here. Seems like this is the way. The hell are those things? You discover a passage that appears to lead to the palace under the palace foundations. Press on and find out where it goes. I will do just that. Stone door. Surely there's a mechanism or a way to open this. You have come to a worn stone door, standing temptingly ajar. It would appear you have found an entrance into the subterranean ruins. Echo, it's Alphanord. We've searched the prison beneath the palace and found a door concealed by enchantments. Have you aught to report? Yes, I too have found a door. And you believe it leads into the ruins? Excellent. Then I propose we proceed from our respective entry points and look to meet somewhere in the middle. Oh, come on lads. We might as well make it a race. Victory goes to the first adventurer to find the treasure. Godspeed. Right, I thought that would be a duty. Drowned City of Skalla. Right, it says 10 minutes. We will be back once this is ready. See you in a bit. Okie dokie. I was starting to worry that that wouldn't populate in time. Never mind. Hiya. Ooh, it's very interesting. Let's check it out. Got a bit of lag going on. Hopefully that won't continue all the way through. These are Skalla Nanka, so I don't think these are the monsters that the that the royal servants and family were turned into. These are just your standard, everyday, run-of-the-mill mobs. Blut. Oh god. One well-placed area of effect attack, and they're all dead. Cool. Jesus. Kelpie! See what Kelpie's capable of. Oh. Appears to be that. Ugh. Woo. Okay. I have decided Kelpie can go to hell. Ooh. A ring of fending. We don't need it. Somebody else can have it. Bling, 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 bling. Stone Forbad. Oh, we're not bothering with it. Okay. Okay, we are. I wonder if these are the royal family members that got cursed and turned into monsters. That would be quite interesting. Half buried in the rock. don't know why I always have the map on when I come into dungeons. I can just turn it off at that point. Zap. Zap. The old one. Oh god. What the hell are you? Uh. I don't like that. What the hell? Okay, I am a Spriggan. Oh god, am I meant to... Right, I see. We're supposed to place bomb. I didn't realise that we actually had an ability while we were transformed. I thought it was just a curse effect. Okay, so we've got these things again. Drop one of them. Yes. Yes. Drop one there. No, that didn't work. Drop one there. Okay, they're all dead. Good, good, good. And it's down. That was quite a good fight. Healing, don't need. Casting, need. Aiming, don't need. Aiming, don't need. Slaying, don't need. Bending, don't need. Zanbeto. Whoa, what happened to everyone? Oh god, everyone walked off a cliff. Quick, shield. Damn. Ah, well. These things do happen. Use the shortcut. Where is everyone? Is this the right way? Yeah, it's got to be the right way. Right? There's everyone. Sorry, I'm on my way. Oh god. There we go. Show up late to the party. What the fuck? Ah! Well, that's quite funny. Oh, I've done it again. Press the Windows key. Alright, closing the window I've just opened. Oh god. Treasure. Casting. Rotting Royal. Ooh, what's this shiny door up ahead? Looks interesting. Oops. Helps if you target something. Boom. Oh, hello. Oh. Nasty beastie. Alright, let's see what we're up against. Raises his claws. Well, let's not stand in front of him then. Oh god, took some hits there. Standing far away. So there's quite a few enemies we've fought who do that same thing, where they have an area of effect thing, you just sort of move really far away from it. How does that mean? I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there either. Did somebody use the limit break? Confused. Okay, don't want to be anywhere near that. Thank you very much. Oof. He be dead. Fuck it, kill him. Nice. Choo-choo. Ooh. Turned back into a human very briefly. Right, what loot do we have? Accommodation. Yep, have one of them. Loot. Healing. Pass. Leave the duty. Alright, gents.
大丈夫か、アレンバルド。
ああ、なんとかな。
いや、どうやらお互い同じ場所に行き着いたようだね。
How very fortuitous.
こちらは怪物に追い回されて散々な目にあったが、君は大丈夫だったかい？
Yeah, we kind of fought them instead of fled them. But you know, we can't all be heroes. Who's this guy then?
なるほど。こちら側にも怪物がいたと。どうやらそれらが暴君テオドリックによって魔物へと変えられたという王族の慣れの果てだったようだな。
ともあれ、苦労した甲斐はあったようじゃないか。な、そうだろ？
I'd say so.
まあ、そのようだな。しかし、これほどの財宝が眠っていたとは。
Ooh, shiny things.
きっとリセやアラミゴのみんなも喜ぶぞ。俺たちの冒険は大成功だ。
Not a problem, Arenvald. I'm glad this all worked out to your satisfaction. Now what do we get? Arenvald and I forged ahead at the fastest pace we could manage, but I was not surprised to find you waiting for us. I suppose it serves us right for challenging the Warrior of Light. Next time we should agree on some manner of handicap. Ah, we may have lost Alphanord, but think of what we found. Quite. I'm still reeling at the sight of that mountain of riches. What, like how you reeled at the sight of that floating spectre, you mean? You should have heard him scream, Geico. Really? Must we dwell on such momentary lapses? We found the Mad King's trove, and that's all that matters. Cool. Okay, I'm going to end that one there, as I do need to go and get ready for work. Yeah, yes, a few more of these kind of little side quests, and we should be ready to press on with the main story in earnest. But for now, from myself and my two adventuring comrades in arms, Alphanord and Arenvald, and of course Mudpie and Carbuncle, it's goodbye, and I will see you next time. Say cheerio, chaps. Cheerio.